In today's video, we are having a relaxing time doodling with a brush pen. We'll be filling up 2 entire sketchbook pages with pretty flowers, leaves, and little branches, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started. Today I'm doodling with a brush pen, which is a really fun tool to use because you can vary the thickness of the lines. When you press lightly, you get thin lines, and when you press hard, you get these thick lines. So it's these variations in the different thicknesses of the lines that give the drawings a nice and organic look, which I really love. I'm starting with some roses. Always nice to start with something extra pretty to set you in the right mood. Now, when drawing roses, I draw a bunch of broken line spirals, keep going round and round until I'm happy with the size of the flower. Some leaves, which are so much fun to draw with the brush pen, as you can just flick the body of the brush to form your leaf shapes in 1 or 2 strokes. Now, when drawing with a brush pen, you may not get a very polished look, and some people may find the look a bit messy, but for me there's something very relaxing and freeing about the brush gliding along the smooth pages of the journal to form these pretty drawings. It almost feels effortless. So I'm adding these different botanicals in random spots on the journal. This one here almost looks like a tulip. Notice the high contrast drawings that we are getting. I think that's a very interesting look that you get when doodling with brush pens. This little flower here is like a bunch of dots connected to the stem, and it always looks super pretty. It's hard to achieve a perfect look with brush pens, and some lines may end up looking too wonky, but try not to go back over the lines again and again. So try not to overwork the lines. Trust me, the overall look is still going to be quite magical. So just enjoy the process and keep going. Over here, I'm drawing these leaves that look like oak leaves. So I'm doing these scallop-edged leaves, which always look good in a cluster of 2 or 3. Add some veins using the tip of your brush. Let's do some more flowers. Now, when drawing flowers, you can draw flowers that resemble real-life flowers, or you can draw from your imagination, whatever makes your soul happy. Here I've just drawn these semicircular flowers, and you can do a little bit of line shading as well with the very tip of your brush. That kind of adds a dimension to the flower. Let's do some branches. A couple of stems branching off a central line, and on each line I'm going to do these little tiny pairs of oval leaves. I feel like drawing some lilies perhaps, so I'm just drawing these little star-shaped flowers. Ooh, you're looking a bit rough though, but that's okay. I'll try not to strive for perfectionism. In the end, it's all gonna look okay. See, in the end, they are kind of resembling lilies, so it's not too bad. Alright, so that was our first page of doodles. Now we're moving on to the second page. I'm starting with a fern. Start with a central line and draw these curved lines branching off from either side of the central line. And the lines are longer at the bottom and a bit shorter at the top. And on each of these lines, I'm doing these tiny pairs of ovals, and you get this beautiful intricate fern. Let's do some lavenders. I always like to do my lavenders with a little bit of a pencil guideline, which is basically an oval shape, and I fill in that oval with tiny little V shapes and scribbles and squiggles, and keeping it a bit wider at the bottom and going a little bit narrower at the top. Add some thin grassy leaves, and that's it. Let's do a few more leaves, maybe a heart-shaped one, which is my favorite. I like to add some veins with the tip of the brush. They always look really pretty. Perhaps another oak leaf. I just can't get enough of these. Maybe another branch that has flowers that look like berries on the tip of each branch. These are bluebells that I'm drawing right now. So you start with a drooping branch and then draw a few bell-shaped flowers near the top of the branch. These 3-petal flowers are a joy to draw. 3 flicks of the brush and you have a flower. They look good in a cluster, so I'm drawing a few of them and add some leaves, and that's it. Here I'm doodling flowers like we drew flowers when we were little kids. Some long petals around the circular center. Some more branches, just a couple of little dots at the tip of each branch. I'll do a little sprig of rosemary perhaps. I'm drawing these cluster of 4 or 5 leaves and I leave a little bit of gap between each cluster and it starts to look a lot like rosemary. I feel like adding a surprise element. Drawing all these leaves and flowers made me want to draw a snail. I know it's not a botanical, but I'm gonna add that in. I think it's gonna look cute sitting next to all these leaves and branches. Well, both our pages are quite full now, but I might cram in a few more tiny elements in some of the empty spaces that I see without overcrowding the page, of course. That's it. Thanks for watching, friends. I had a lot of fun doing these 2 pages full of botanicals with you guys. I hope you find it useful in some way or another. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and I'll see you next time.